Dana, McConnell went after Biden, and Tom Cotton went after Chuck Schumer back on the Senate floor. Watch.
The ideologues in the Senate want to turn the Founding Fathers, what the Founding Fathers called the cooling saucer of democracy, into a rubber stamp of dictatorship. Every word of my speech today was originally spoken by our esteemed colleague, the senior senator from New York, Chuck Schumer.
Cotton, the Republican from Arkansas, joins us now. Sir, thank you for your time. Make your point.
Clever.
It's pretty obvious there, huh?
Yeah, guys, it was the easiest speech I've ever given in my time in politics. I didn't have to write a single word of it. I just repeated what Chuck Schumer has said over the years about the importance of Senate rules and traditions and customs to respect the rights of the minority in the Senate. The Senate is a place where you have a sober second thought against sometimes transient or fleeting opinions coming from the House of Representatives. It's played that role over our history. It needs to continue to play that role. But look, if you're looking for integrity and principled stands despite shifting partisan winds, Chuck Schumer is probably not the politician you want to look to. But what Republicans will do this week is to defend our Constitution, defend our customs, to protect the voices of all Americans in our government.
Senator Schumer has a strategy today. I guess he's figuring out a way to try to get to the votes that he needs. Is that possible?
I don't think it's possible, Dana. I mean, I have not heard anything from Joe Manchin or Kyrsten Sinema suggesting that they're prepared to go down this truly radical path. I can't imagine that Joe Biden has much to say to them today that he didn't already say in Georgia on Tuesday, as Senator McConnell said in that speech you played excerpts from, calling people like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema racists for not thinking that we should have mandatory nationwide mail-out balloting or ballot harvesting does not seem to me a strategy for winning over those Democratic senators.
I mean, some of the Democrats have already gone public in suggesting that that whole deal in Georgia was too much. Dick Durbin, Al Sharpton, watch.
Perhaps the president went a little too far in his rhetoric, but the fundamental principles and values at stake are very, very similar.
If he was trying to get votes, it was not the vote-getting speech. I think he gave a "you're going to hell" speech.
I mean, that's, it's hard to get them on the same page on a topic like this. Raphael Warnock, the winning senator from Georgia, said the following. He said, the risk is that we lose our democracy as we know it. Put that in the context of the fact that Joe Biden won Georgia and Warnock won his runoff election to get his Senate seat in Georgia.
Yeah, Bill, the Democrats have been propelling a big lie about election laws around this country. States like Georgia or Texas or other states have adopted new election reforms. Those reforms almost uniformly make it easier to vote and harder to cheat. In many ways, they make it easier to vote than in states like Joe Biden's Delaware or Chuck Schumer's New York. But because the Democrats know their agenda is massively unpopular, the results it's generated, like record high inflation of 7%, is going to cause them to lose in the next election. They want to take over our elections and they want to seize power so they never have to relinquish it. I can't think of a much better defense of the Senate rules and traditions than the fact that the narrowest majority in Senate history, really not even a majority, a 50-50 Senate, is trying to break the rules to decide how every state will elect senators in the future.
I wanted to ask you just quickly to talk about one of the provisions in this voting rights bill. It hasn't gotten a lot of attention, but you've talked about it and so have a couple of others, which is this provision that would allow for matching funds to be given to candidates but they would be from taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, the Democrats have wanted to do this for years. This is just their latest excuse and pretense to try to use your tax dollars to support candidates who you disagree with. Look, every candidate has a chance to raise money these days. In some ways, it's easier than ever to raise money because of online fundraising. The Democrats certainly don't have any problem raising money. Yet the Democrats want to take your tax dollars so you can fund the campaigns of candidates with whom you disagree. We don't think there's any reason for that. We don't want to take your tax dollars and give it to Democrats or to Republicans. We think politicians should be able to campaign on their own 2 feet, not using taxpayer money.
Senator, thank you for your time. Tom Cotton there from Arkansas with us today.
Thank you.
So the president